Hello everyone, welcome to Nubo Creative Tutorials. Today we have a new Stardust tutorial in our series and I will show you how to create a 3D hexagon transitions in After Effects using Stardust. So create your composition and let's get started. So after create your composition, and as you see here in my comp I have this hexagon shape, and on this layer here I have a mask. So just using polygon tool to create this shape here, it's straightforward to create. And then let's jump here to the Stardust layer and then emitter, and I'm going to change type to grid and then emitting once and zero out the speed. And here we have the size, so I'm going to crank up the size X to 8000, and the same for the Y. And for the Z, I'm just going to set there 1. And here we have a grid properties. So here how many particles we want on the X and the Y. So it's straightforward. So here we have this grid, and on particle node, I'm going to add more life here. So 10 seconds. And then particle properties, I'm going to set the size to 1, and here changing the shape to model, and then add a model node and material node here, and let's connect these. And on this model, I'm going to assign these to text and mask, and then here extrude layer, I'm going to choose this mask we already have. So here you can see that we got this hexagon shape with extrude on it, and bevel I'm just going to set these to 0, and here we have these model properties. So here we have the size of these models, so I'm going to set there 10, and you can see we got these right there. And then I'm going to connect this model node to the particle, and then you can see it just replace those particles there. That's pretty cool. So now going back to emitter, and here we have to adjust these. We want to make it look just like a grid. We don't need any gaps. So here we need to fix these. So here we have grid shift. So we need to shift these rows as you see, and just holding control, and then it's going to move really slow. So here it's going to be around 25. So we cut into place, and then on the grid Y, I'm going to move that until there's no gaps there. So as you see now, we have just white here, and then I'm going to add these turbulence node here, and then I'm going to actually to position offset and then offset that, so we can see what's going on here. We just move those hexagons, and here I'm going to turbulence type and choose here axis, and then choose axis Z, and basically this is going to move those on the Z axis as you see there. And then I'm going to do here, I'm going to Stardust and then render settings and then ambient occlusion and then enable that. So we're going to get a very interesting look right now. And back to turbulence here. So the idea here, you can see that if we put on the position offset 1000, and then I'm going to crank up the scale to the maximum as well, you can see that they are disappearing. And so here I'm going to change here the turbulence effect to sphere, and then you can see what we got here. So here we have turbulence origin. So basically you can move this sphere here. If you want to see it, just go to these helpers and click it back, so you can see right there the sphere, and here we have the size of that sphere, so you can see what's going on right here. And you can see that we are getting very cool radial transition here. So here we're going to animate the sphere size. So from 0, going to add keyframe right there, and then at the end we're going to crank up the sphere to the maximum. And let's get rid of these helpers, and then you can see here we're having animation right here. So let's preview and see how this looks like. So as you see, we got something like this. So basically this is too fast, so we need to adjust this to easy ease them here, F9 to easy ease that, and here we can just actually control the animation here. So now it's actually going to look a little bit better. So let's preview this again. So as you see, this looks pretty cool now. And so basically now you can see we have a problem here, and you can see this is not centered and it shifts to the right as you see as it's animating. So to actually fix that and to make it looks good, so we're going to model here, and here we have center. So all we need to do is center these, and you can see the difference here that it's correct that, and it's look pretty cool now. And also here I want to show you another thing here. These alignments is very important. Sometimes you may need to fix some problems using the align model here. So for now we got the radial animation here, so let's preview this one more time. So as you see, this look pretty cool, but at the end you can see that we still see all these hexagons, they don't disappear there. So basically we need to fix that using here on turbulence these sphere feather. So you can see if we zero out that, we don't see them anymore. But here we got another problem. So you can see that right here we don't have that feather. So basically the feather here, it's feather that transition right there and make it look very cool. So we're going to animate these as well. So just add the mill here. We're going to add a keyframe from 100 to 0 right there, and it actually should fix that. So let's preview this again. Okay, that's look pretty cool, and if any adjustment needed, you can just use the graph here and just make sure you use it properly so you can get a nice result. Okay, so and now what I'm going to do here, basically you can see we have other properties here to make these look different. So for example here, maybe you don't need position offset, so we can get really a nice look in here without any position offset. So here you can have as much as position offset that, so you can see this is changing the look. And basically also here you can change these, but I think the best result is on the Z, and here you can choose one side or both. So basically I'm going to leave that axis, and here we have a noise scale. So we can have, if we crank up that to the maximum, you can see what's going on. So basically we just get different look as you see here. So if there's no scale, so you can see we got something just like these, and that's pretty cool here. So we have a lot of flexibilities to make this look very interesting here. So let's now put these to 100 as was here, and you can see we got something very cool there, and maybe this position back to 1000. And then the cool thing here, you can just put these anywhere you want, so you can have a different looks of the animation. So maybe this is going to be radial, diagonal there. So as you see here, we have from the side, and that's pretty cool. You can have it on top. So let's preview this. So as you see, that's really very cool here. So you can just add more turbulence to that and make different looks and so on. And of course we can get that to the middle here. So we just totally have a different look of transition here. So let's preview these as well. Okay, so as you see, that's already look very cool here. So let's say we want to add rotation to these hexagons. So all we need to do here is duplicate this turbulence. And on second one, I'm going to zero out this position and scale as well. And then add here a rotation to these. And now you can see we have a rotation on the Z. So I'm going to choose here Y, and let's put here 300, maybe 500 on noise scale. And you can see we are getting something very cool here, the rotation. But we got here very hard edges for this transition. So we want to make that nice feather. So all we need to do is hit U to reveal these keyframes. And for the second one, I'm going to just move the first keyframe just as much as you want, and you can see how we are actually affecting these so we don't have it at the beginning as it was before. So that's look better. So let's preview this again. So as you see, this look pretty cool. So the timing, you can adjust that with the keyframe and how long you want that to be, longer or shorter. So you can see this is very cool. So let's actually back here to these and just reset these to the center for both of these turbulence. So now we have back to our center here. And of course, on the second one, you can just play with the noise scale. We can also change the value on the amplitude. So as you see here, we're getting a different rotation right there. So as you see, this is already looks pretty cool. So now if we add a new camera here, you can see now we can just play with this and make it even just very interesting, not just in the center. We can have very different views here for these, and it's very cool. So as you see here, let's get a very nice angle view here. So maybe that one. Let's preview this. So you can imagine how many different transitions you can create here using this same setup and with different camera views here. So let's show you this example and see how it looks here. So as you see, we have a different transition, and I'm going to show you how to create that. So let's disable this turbulence, and on this one, I'm going to turbulence origin here and going to set X to minus 2500 and the Y to minus 1500 and position offset to 1500. So basically you can see here, and first let's disable this camera view here, and we have right there actually it's for these turbulence origin. So here you can see that it's just a little bit slow. So here we need to adjust these easy ease here so it's not too late. So let's just adjust it back something like this, and now we can see the transition there. And so on noise scale, I'm going to set that to 500, and as you see we got something like that. Let's create a new camera here and let's zoom out these so we can see more of these. And then right here we have these noise levels. So I'm going to set that to 1, and noise frequency to 10. You can see how the look is changed, and amplitude to 250. So we got something like these, as you see here. So it's pretty cool. So let's preview and see how this looks like. Okay, that's look pretty cool. And here we actually need to set this to one side, so we have it like going like toward the camera, and that's make it look totally different. So let's preview this again to see the difference. Okay, so that's look pretty cool. And to show you something, that if we change the turbulence, for example, X, you can see how we change the look right there. It have an effect on that, the same for the Y. So we have a lot of flexibility here to make these look different, as you see here. So, and now if we just change the camera here with the same thing, you can see that we got a different look this time. So let's preview this from a different view here. So as you see, we got a different look here just by changing the camera view, and that's pretty cool. So now I'm going to show you how to use this with your videos. So let's reveal these in our projects, and then here I already have this comp with 2 videos here, and just color correction applied here. So I'm going to drag these to this comp and just align these with the second clip here. And I'm going to use these as Aloma invert mats. And now you can see that we got these pretty cool transition here. But we have one problem. So if we back here and let's zoom right there, we can see we got some gaps, like 1 pixel shading black there. And there's 2 ways to fix this problem. So I'm going to show you the first one. So here up in this transition comp, and let's add a new adjustment layer, and we can add here fast box blur and set this to 1 pixels and repeat edges. And going back here, you can see we got here, this is blurred a little bit, so we can add sharpen here and set this to 100. So you can see that a little bit help. So you can see we got rid of that black pixels, and that's help. So the second way here, let's turn off this blur, and here we can actually add, you can see, we go back here, we can add minimax and set this to 1, and it's going to fix this, and it's going to change a little bit the look. Let's put this to just 10, or just turn off this sharpen. So you can see what this is doing here. So we just want to put this to just vertical, and it's actually help. And you can see it changed a little bit the look there. So maybe horizontal, and you can see it helped to fix that problem. And let's preview and see how this looks like. And another thing here, you can actually go here to Stardust, and here we have ambient occlusion. I'm going to crank up that to the maximum so we add more of it right there, and you can see how it changed the look and give some nice semi-transparency there, which make it look very cool here. So let's change here the camera view and take a look with this one here. So let's preview this one. So this was the tutorial of today. Hope it was very useful for you guys. And if you have any questions, just comment and I will do my best to be responsive. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more tutorials coming soon. And thank you for watching.